everyone, welcome back to Get Ready with me, Louise. So today we're actually going to be playing in a new palette. Well, it's kind of new. It's the Juvia'S Place Garden of Juvia. And I wasn't actually going to pick this up, but because I was reviewing the Natasha Denona stuff, which I'm still going to do, I did play with the pastel palette. And this kind of reminded me of it. Let me give you a show. Because with me with the pastel palette, it's either I guess a complementary palette to something else, or like a companion palette to something else, or almost like a 2 to maybe 3 color show. You have a crease and then your lid shade basically with that palette. And this palette kind of reminded me of that, so I wanted to see if just maybe you can get a similar look using this palette versus using that. Now, there's no way they're like dupes or anything like that. The formulas are different, the colors are a little bit different, so that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you're wanting that pastel, maybe this is an alternative type thing, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get started. The first shade I'm going to go into is Peony. I really do like this palette though. I like Juvia'S Place palettes, to be honest with you. Let me see, make sure you can see this. Because with her palettes, no matter what, it's pigmented. No matter what, you can bet it's going to be pigmented, okay? So the shade that you see in the palette, it will either come out of the gate like that, or you can build it up like that. It's just whatever your, preference is. There is a little bit of blending. You do have to blend a little bit. Work out a little bit, but not nothing major. So what I've done is went in hot and heavy with this shade here on the other eye, right? That was my plan. To just go in hot and heavy. And then I was going to take this shade Gardenia and blend out my edges at the top, right? That was my plan. Except I really couldn't see that shade. I don't know. I don't think you can either, to be honest with you. Basically, all it did was like tone down the shade, that pink shade. Which is fine. I feel like if you had a darker skin tone, it would almost be like a white. And if you had lighter than me, it'd almost be like skin color. So I'm not really sure, like maybe setting the lid it would be good for. But other than that, I'm not really sure what that shade would be good for. So because it really toned down that shade when I did that, I went back in again. I just wanted to make sure I did the same thing on both eyes, even if it is a mess up. That way there's no, I don't want them to turn out different, And I have hooded eyes. So it kind of makes it a little more even difficult, to be honest with you. Which anybody who has hooded eyes knows it's not the easiest. And then it's just a lot of blending, really. I do understand why content creators do fast forward through this or, take it out. But I feel like it's important for people to see how long it takes to blend, because maybe they don't want to blend that much, you know what I mean? So maybe that's why they're not going to like that palette. But they're not going to know that if it goes from this and then the next clip jumping right into the next color, you know? Or maybe they're trying to recreate the look. Please don't recreate the looks that I do, because it won't be good. I'm going to take that same peony shade and I'm just going to run it right under the lower lash line. And you know, as soon as I got done with this eye over here, my Pat McGrath palette came in. I will say it's beautiful. I'll just go ahead and tell you that now. Just first look. Oh, it's gorgeous. I can't wait to play with it. I almost thought about wiping this look off and doing the Pat McGrath, but I really did like the look that I ended up with. One. And two, I wanted to do a look with this and show you anyway, so. Pat McGrath's palette will just have to wait till tomorrow. But you can bet tomorrow, I'll be all over it. Well, I'll be all over it tonight, you know, swatching and stuff, because I can't help myself, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, now I'm going to go into the shade Sweet Lilac. And we're just going to start to... Now, I will say, you're not going to get a very, like, dark outer corner in this palette, obviously, because it's pastels. You can get a neutral look kind of out of this palette, because there is, like, a brown, light brownish, maybe, like, with an orange tone, brown-orange kind of shade in here. So you will get that. But that's about as dark or as neutral, you know, as you're going to get. But again, you're kind of buying this palette based on you want a pastel palette. And truth be told, it's a beautiful palette. They did a really good job with it. From the pigmentation to the blending to just to the color story. It all looks really good. Okay, then I'm going to take that same shade and run it right up against the lash line. And again, you may have a lot of like going back and forth between the shades. That's the only thing about pastels, is because they are so light, they can blend away or get lost in another shade. But overall, I really didn't have any issues with this palette at all, to be honest. There's a little bit of kick up in the pans when you go and get your shadows out. I had no fallout. And I did not spray my brush, so, you know, obviously if I did have fell out, it would have been, you know, my fault. Okay, going back into Peony and running that again under that lash line. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay. Alrighty, we're looking good, looking good. Let's go back into Peony on the top. Just to blend it. Because we don't want to lose that shade. And I've actually been taking my shades all the way over because I seen somebody, I don't know who I seen doing it, and I thought it looked really cool. And it does look cool on them, don't get me wrong, it really does look good. On myself, I don't know really if I like that or not, but on them, I like it a lot. I'm trying to make sure I got both eyes the same. We can go back though. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the shade Purple Orchid. This is such, I'm not spraying it either, but wait until you see this shade. It is beautiful. Alright, ready? Here we go. Look at that. Can you see that? It is so metallic. And again, I'm not spraying the brush. It's like a purple, pink, silver. I mean, it's beautiful. Oops. Don't know where I put my little thing yet that I wiped the brush off with, because I'm going to use the same brush and go into a different shade here in a minute. Alright, so what I done was laid that shade down. And you do want to kind of like pat it on. You don't want to fuss with it too much or you will get fallout unless you spray or have a glitter glue down. So, you know, pat and sort of spread it around, but don't really like blend or anything like that. I mean, unless you don't care about it falling because you haven't done your makeup or anything. Now I'm going to go into Blooming. And I'm going to place that right on Patent It, of course. Right on my inner part. I picked up a little bit too much there. Because I felt a little bit at my cheek, I think. Look at this. Can you see that? And they melt so well together. These shades. Well, they don't melt. They mix together. But you know what I mean. It feels like they just melt. Glide into one another in a sense. And again, just like with, you just want to pat and lay it down, pat and lay it down. Oh, it's perfect. Look at that. I'm in love. I'm in love with this palette. For sure. Like, there's nothing about this palette. Hands down. Okay, now I'm going to go into the shade Daffodil. And I'm going to tap this. Like, just pushing it, really. Because if not, you really will get fallout with this. I forgot about that shade. Because it does have, like, kind of a good bit of hunk of glitters in it. But, if you just push, you won't have any fallout. And I'm going to make that my inner corner highlight. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay. Kind of got that side a little bit brighter than this side. Did I get fallout? Maybe I didn't. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and put on mascara. Okay, so for mascara, I went with Gucci mascara. I hope my mirror's not in the way. Let's go ahead and put that on. Actually, let's use my bigger side of my mirror because I'm blind. I'm not even going to curl my lashes. Although I probably should have. I knew I was going to do that. This always gets me. Because it's like a spiky one. And the thing is I love it though. Like, I love this mascara. But if I'm, like, I gotta be prepared for it, because it's gonna come in spiky. I just love how I can get everything. Every little hair it can coat. And it separates nicely too. It separates your lashes. But I find most spiky ones do that, so. I just feel like it makes my lashes look so pretty. It could just be a me thing, like it really doesn't do anything. And I just think it does. Because it's Gucci or something. But like, I love the packaging. I love the way it makes my lashes look. I love that I can use the end of it to really get in and separate. Or like, get every last lash. And today I even decided to use this for my bottom lashes, even though I usually don't. Because I wanted to see if I could use it, this little piece here, to just really like get the, like right at the beginning of the, or just like kind of coat the like the roots of the bottom lashes, I guess. I don't know. With the little ball thingy at the end of it. And then separate them and everything with it. But it's not working like it did on the other side. I'll have to clean up the mess I made. I'll go ahead and hit these lashes better now to make them the same. But I wasn't for sure. I've never had it like smudge on the top, so I have to assume it's not going to do that on the bottom. But that's why I kind of just wanted to get the little tips, but it didn't work on this side for some reason, like it did my other eye. But that's okay. We'll just hope and pray that it doesn't smear anywhere. Alright, I like the way the top looks now. I think I like the way the bottom looks. So, we just gotta clean up that mess underneath and we're done. Okay, I'm gonna flip the mirror back again. We all should have known I was going to mess up all the makeup, or the mascara part, right? That's like a daily thing with me. How about you all? Can you all put a mascara on and not make a mess? I'm telling you, almost every day, one or both of the eyes will get this here, because I just hit it with the mascara. Don't mean to. Okay. Then for my waterline, of course, ColourPop in Blown Away from the Avatar series. And then from my lips, I had, which I thought was really cool, this Guerlain, whoops, in, Rose something, I think. I don't know, y'all, but it's this color here. It's this little one. This, and then I put a lip gloss on top. I put the I couldn't read these if I wanted to, you all. This one here. I'm using up all this stuff here. So I put that on top and mixed it together. And I think it goes very well with the look, the eye look, and my shirt and everything, like the sparkly colors and stuff. So I think the whole look kind of goes with each other. But this is the final look using that palette. I really like the way it turned out, you all. I think if you're looking for a pastel palette, this could be a good one for you. It's definitely something to think about. Let me show it to you again. This is the cover story. And again, you can stick with monochromatic, is that the word? Where you just stick with purples or pinks or greens or a sun. I don't know. Yellows maybe, I don't know. But look at this. Look at this artwork. Oh, Juvia'S place is like Pat McGrath when it comes to artwork. I love their artwork. I really do. Now, it's not as fancy as Pat McGrath, but it's also not what is it now, $28 for one per palette? That's nuts, but I'm nuts. I'm a fool. See, it's a good thing I could be the fool and you don't have to be. And you can see, haha, she's out that amount of money, you know what I mean? It works in a way. Not for me. I don't see where it works for me, other than I'm the fool and I'm going to purchase it anyway, so maybe I shouldn't be a fool. Anyway, this is a nice palette. Would I grab for it over my Natasha Denona? No, because I have the Natasha Denona. But if I went traveling, would I take this in the summer and spring? Or would I take my Natasha Denona? I take this. Because it's way less expensive than that. And I don't want to break my Natasha Denona, or have it get lost or stolen or something, you know what I mean? So as far as that goes, like, this would come in handy then if I was traveling. It would come in handy if I was doing like a affordable look. Here's the thing where it comes in handy. I'm not gonna lie. It comes in handy when your children, whether it's my 22, no, she's 24 now. I'm getting old. Wow. Whether it be my 24-year-old daughter, to my 9-year-old daughter, to my 5-year-old granddaughter, who comes in and says, "Hey Mom, hey Gigi, you got a pastel palette?" I can go, "Yes, I do." Instead of them eyeing my Natasha Denona, and I'm like, back off. Back off. Any palette you want, but do not touch Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona. That's a no-no. Well, they can't touch Tom Ford either. Or Charlotte. Or Chanel's. Or anything that's Chanel. Or that new palette I just bought. What was that? Da Vinci? Can't touch that either. Anything over like $40 they can't touch. Now my oldest one, I do let her play with, like the Tarte or the Urban Decay or the Too Faced, but not my children, the little ones. They're pretty much can stay in like the ColourPop bin, Juvia'S Place bin, NYX. Sometimes I let them nice because I know they're kids and they love glam light packaging. I let them get in that. But that's where this comes in handy. Personally, if I'm telling the truth for myself. Because if I'm traveling, I'm probably on vacation and I'm probably not thinking about makeup, to be honest. Like, it's like a very light amount of makeup. You know what I mean? But it's for kids, to be honest. Yep. I'm not gonna lie. It's like a pretend dupe for the Natasha. I'm like, here, play with this instead, while Mommy or Gigi plays with this. You know what I mean? But that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped in some way. If it did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified every time I upload. I upload every day but Sunday. Usually. Now, I did miss yesterday, so because of that, I will upload on Sunday, most likely. I'm going to try to make up for that day. I try to do 6 days a week. But I guess tomorrow we'll be playing with Pat McGrath. I'm excited. And until then, I'll see you all later. And until my next one, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.